Welcome everyone to episode 43 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. And previously, we had started the process of putting the Waking Sands to rights and also laying to rest those who fell in its defense. After we had completed that, as we were deciding what our next move would be, we found out that we had an ally who is also looking to rebuild the Scions, and that is Alphenaud. And previously we had only seen him in passing. Most notably, he would talk to us during the memorial events at the three city-states, and also there was a cutscene where he was speaking with Benphilia. But he wants to rebuild the Scions, but he also wants to make a statement that the Scions are not finished, and the statement he wants to do is to have us take on and defeat Garuda. But we have some preparatory work to do before we can launch an assault on the third primal. Anyway, we are still at the Church of Adama Landma in eastern Thanalan, just northwest of Camp Drybone. And we're going to hop inside, and we're going to see what our next mission is going to be. Oh, and we are speaking with a person named Marquise, and ends up it is this game's Cid. He is an engineer, but he is suffering from amnesia. But so we got a lot of work ahead of us. But let's get started here. He who waited behind. What a curious twist of fate that Master Cid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Beg your pardon, Lightbringer. You wish to find his airship, yes? I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the calamity. Much like the Great Galbu Wall of Udal, it states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania towards Coerthas. If true, the airship would have passed through the North Shroud, likely over Fallgord Float, the closest settlement to Coerthas. Mayhap the serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest from your journeys for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you and the Scions. Pray, look after yourself and Cid, Lightbringer. So, my first playthrough, as I finished Endwalker, I'm probably about halfway through Dawn Trail right now. My focus is on the playthrough here, but I should take some more time for Dawn Trail. I was curious, when did Alphenaud join us as a regular companion? I'm thinking this quest line here, after the Waking Sands is attacked, is when he first becomes our companion here, or at least our traveling companion, I should say. Now, he might seem a bit... Now, he is very much a brand new character. He is... And he still has a lot of that Charlian personality. So give him a bit of time if you don't really like his attitude right now. He will do a lot of growing through the next couple of DLCs, especially Heaven's Sword, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. He becomes one of my more favorite NPCs. Anyway, we will cut to the North Shroud and see you at Fallgourd Float. Okay, we are in Fallgourd Floats. And we heading over to the side here to check in with the Twin Adder station here, see if they have records. Is there aught I can assist you with, miss? The Enterprise? You speak of Master Garland's ship, yes? I needn't refer to the records. I know that the airship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Coerthas. What became of it after that, I cannot say. If you wish to know more, pray speak with how that's pronounced, at Florentel's Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I am unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, you would not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it. I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. Okay, and we are going to take our first foray into the realm to the influence area of Ishgard. We are not going to enter into Ishgard directly. We don't have the clearance for that yet. And they're known for keeping their borders closed. Okay, so we're not quite in Coerthas yet. We're talking with the serpents at the northern border of the North Shroud with Ishgard. You have come in search of Vorfart. Then well met, for you have found him. Indeed, I have served as a whaler for many years, since before the great snows came to Coerthas. What exactly is this about? Ah, the final flight of the Enterprise. I do indeed remember that day. Cold reception. 'Twas on the eve of the Battle of Courtenay. Nigh on 5 years ago, I held the spire alone that night, while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy in the field. Then, all of a sudden, the most fantastic airship I've ever seen splits the sky overhead. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. If the Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the calamity, I'd wager it's still somewhere in Coerthas. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help, but to obtain them, you would need to deal with the Ishgardians, who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The high houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dalamud descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plights of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider providing your services to the soldiers who guard the observatorium. Though they may refuse you at first, I have little doubt they would accept aid freely offered. So right now, Ishgard is an isolationist state. They much prefer to stick to themselves, and they're not known to give, warm welcomes to fresh outsiders. But we're going to persist and hope that by serving them, we can gain an ear with one of them. It may not necessarily be the one we want, But we're hoping that if you gain an ear from one, we can then work our way to getting an ear from those we wish. Okay, so when you first arrive at the observatorium, you may be tempted to go up the spire here, or the tower here. No. You want to speak to the guard that is outside this door here, just to the right of the entranceway to the tower. Excuse me, can you repeat that? You wish to offer your services to House Dunader, and what, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? Ha! How absurd! As if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatorium. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The holy see of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. The Unending War. Alone have mercy. Are you still here? You may take shelter within our walls, if you insist, but do not distract me while I'm on duty. We're stretched thin as it is. And where in the hells is that knight I sent out on patrol? You should have returned ages ago. Perhaps I have a use for you after all. If you still wish to aid us, search the wilds to the west for my missing man. You will know him by his uniform, that of House Dunader, as is mine. Okay, so we have a lead here. Okay, not far. Right around this thing here. Okay, and who are you going to find? We're going to follow some assassins. If it wasn't for you, miss, I reckon they would have finished me off. Despicable dragon-loving bastards. Death was a mercy they didn't deserve. I prayed the rumors were mistaken, but this confirms the worst. I must immediately inform my superiors that the heretics are operating within this region. Fare thee well, friend. And the game will get into what exactly heretics are, as the main story progresses. But needless to say, there are issues in Ishgard just as everywhere else. I must say, I didn't actually expect you to find my knight, much less rescue him. I see I may have been premature in my judgment, miss. We are a proud people, beholden to tradition, But that does not mean we are without humility. I shall instruct the astrologians to entertain your request. However, understand that it is ultimately their decision whether or not you may peruse their records. Pray, proceed to the observatorium and introduce yourself to Edmel. Now I think we have to enter the observatorium. Yep, there's our woman. The lady come in search of the airship. This is highly unorthodox. Whatever could Sir Ludovic be thinking? It is true that we maintain meticulous records, which stretch back generations. However, because this information is used to chart Dravinian activity, access is strictly controlled. One can never be too careful when heretics and their sympathizers are lurking about. If you would persist with your inquiries, pray seek an audience with Chief Astrologian Formote up above. No, absolutely not. Have you any inkling what it is you ask? Were our records to fall into the wrong hands, it could change the course of a war which has raged for generations. I speak not of some mere spat between Southron nations. Ours is a holy crusade, and we are the arbiters of Helon's will. I will not put our great nation at risk. Certainly not to help a foreigner locate a missing airship of all things. Pardon for the intrusion, for the malt. I wish to speak with you regarding the recent, I did not realize you had a guest. Inquisitor Guglielme, you honor us with your presence, sir. The lady was just leaving. Ah, you must be the one who rescued House Dunedair's knight from those heretics. Doubtless they feel indebted to you. I am told you seek an airship last seen in Coerthas 5 years ago, yes? You come to us at an inconvenient time, I fear. Much has changed in the intervening years, and little for the better. While I wish you the best of luck in your search, I would also strongly advise caution. The snows can come quickly in Coerthas. One moment you may feel as though you have a firm grasp on your surroundings, safe and secure in your knowledge, and the next you may find yourself in a wholly unfamiliar situation, blind to the dangers hidden by the blizzard. It would be wise for you to focus on a single landmark while traveling. Do not give in to temptation and deviate from your course. I was not aware you aided House Dunedair in that fashion. Thank you, madam. Nevertheless, my decision stands. I cannot give you what you seek. You there, madam. I could not help but overhear your conversation with the chief astrologian. There may be a way I can assist you, but it would require that you perform for me a favor in exchange. An associate of mine has yet to return from his expedition to the cliffs east of the observatorium. He was adamant that he could conduct his observations alone, Despite the presence of Ixil in that vicinity, if you would seek out this astrologian and confirm that he is well, it would be a great comfort to me. So we are to exit the place, and we need to go to the east. How far to the east? Ah, over here. Okay. So, this is the Coerthas Central Highlands. It is under the authority of Ishgard. This is one of the only areas that they actually allow foreigners to travel. Later on, we shall visit the main gate to Ishgard, but they do not let anybody through, unless you are a citizen. Okay. Let's get rid of the guards here. Alright. That should keep us safe. And here's our guy. What a relief to see someone other than a blank stamp birdman. I thought I could finish my work whilst the Ixo were away, but they returned far quicker than I anticipated. It was all I could do to hide and hope they might leave again before I froze to... Wait, who are you? You're not one of our knights. A man of House Dunader cannot be seen in the company of an unbeliever. Good day, madam. So, Ishgard is a theocracy, and unfortunately their religion is very, very strict. We will learn more about them in the missions to come, and also within the next DLC, which is Heavensward. The arrogant fool returned not long before you arrived, muttering about the disgrace of having been rescued by an unbeliever. Serves him right for misunderestimating the dangers our knights face every day. But you are eager to locate your airship. It may surprise you that by saving him, you have already aided your own cause. House Dunader is quick to regard outsiders with suspicion, as it is their duty to sound the alarm at the first sign of dwarven aggression. Yet you have already aided them twice, for which they are honor-bound to repay you. Even so, they will not grant you access to the Observatorium's records. That is just as well, for there are other ways you might locate your missing airship. What I propose is that you petition Lord Porteliane for an official introduction to the other high houses. The word of House Dunader carries tremendous weight in Ishgard. Should the captain consent, you would have little trouble obtaining information from the other high houses. Not a bad idea, if I say so myself. Okay, we gotta go back down. Okay, going here. And there is our guy. You've caused quite a stir in your short time here. First you slay 2 heretics and save a knight, and now I hear you have rescued a man of our house. I imagine you must desire something for your troubles. An introduction to the other high houses. I cannot deny that you have given us no cause to distrust you, but while you have performed 2 acts, you would have me endorse you to 3 high houses. It is only fitting that you aid us one final time. Wouldn't you agree? And we'll take that for a gladiator, or for a warrior. So we're going to cut the episode there for today. And we are making good progress on getting ourselves in with the authorities of Central Coerthas. And that's going to help us not only in our search to find the missing airship, but also may come in handy later on. But anyway, next time we will aid the captain of House Dunedain one last time so we can get our introduction to the other 3 houses, and that will allow us to branch out from here and talk to more people who may be more willing to help us out. So come along next time as we continue to spread our influence in this area and see if we can find exactly where our airship is, and also see if we can spread the light of the crystal in this area. So until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.